All right, guys, I am blown away, okay? There is a secret tool. I'm gonna call it a secret tool. There's just a tool that not many people are talking about that's in Claude already. It's a Claude connector if you're using Cowork, and this is going to change the game for those of us who are running Facebook ads. Now, I'm gonna share with you why and how to set it up, what it is, how to use it, because I have not seen a video on this yet. Okay, so let's just jump in. Okay, cool. So I'm here in Cowork, and the tool that I wanna share with you is in Customize. Just go to Customize, go to Connectors, and then add a new connector. This is where you can add all of your softwares, all the things that you're using. And I want you to browse and type in Microsoft Clarity, okay? Microsoft Clarity. I saw this on the connectors and my mind was like, boom, okay? Let me tell you what Microsoft Clarity is, okay? So Microsoft Clarity is a software that you can install on your websites, on your funnels, and it does free heat maps, and it also does recordings of sessions. Okay, if you're running paid ads to a landing page, to an offer, so many people just optimize the ads. That's part one of a funnel, right? Part two is the funnel, the actual pages, where they go, did they drop? Why do they drop? Headline testing. And all of this is CRO. CRO stands for conversion rate optimization, where we can start to make changes to the actual funnel to get better data, better metrics, and better cost per lead, better OS, okay? So this is free, okay? And the cool part is you can talk to it directly. So let me show you what the inside of this looks like. All right, so this is Microsoft Clarity. And right now I have a heat map structured. And this is based off of 53 sessions. I just installed this, so it's gonna be more. But you can see over here, where are people skimming, right? The red is like where the most attention is. And then least attention is in the middle. So for me, it's the headline, and then the bottom over here is the FAQ. People are actually going through the FAQ, they're opening it up, they're reading it. That is really good data for me to make sure, okay, these need to be stronger, okay? And then part two of this is it does recordings. Like this is an 8-minute recording from somebody today, right? I can push play inside of here, okay? And it will go through the entire journey of what that person did when they loaded the page. This person came from YouTube. I've got my UTM parameters in there, and I can see any clicks that they made. Looks like this person just maybe loaded the page and didn't do anything. That's fine. But you can see that across the board for all the different ones. If they're bouncing, if they spent a minute with you, 20 seconds, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, all of these are recorded here. Now, where does this fit in with Claude? Well, because of this, you can just talk to Claude and ask it, where are people dropping off on my landing page, right? And if you used UTM parameters are where you add certain parameters to the URL to track where they came from, which you should all be doing. I made a video about this on Hyros, but you can essentially just put, I'm gonna do this for you at like very, very high level here. All right, so I just pulled it up. So again, these are all of the UTM parameters that I use for my organic stuff. Paid ads have their own UTM parameters. That's a whole video for another day, go check it out. But inside of here, all you have to do is like, if you wanted to do your website, all you do is put in the website at the top, question, L equals whatever you want to put. Okay, so for me, I have Instagram, I have YouTube, I have all those things. And all this does, when I push enter here, is it just keeps it in the URL. And then if I opt into something, right, then on my Go High Level account, it shows, hey, this person came from Instagram because I just used question L equals Instagram. There's other ways to do UTM parameters. By far, this is the easiest for me. So I have all my platforms, YT, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, email, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Skool. Those are the main ones that I use. And again, once they fill out a form, that gets imprinted onto their account. And I can essentially say, hey, I can ask Claude, or I can ask even Go High Level now, what was the journey look like for people who had question L equals YT? Where did they bounce? Where did they click? Where did they fall off? How much time did they spend? Where did they go on the page? I can ask all of that to Claude. Again, Microsoft Clarity is free. So why would you not be tracking this? Okay, if I go to my dashboard, it has all of the stuff that it's been tracking, average time spent, scroll depth, the number of sessions, and then I have the different referrals. Again, this is based off where they're coming from. And then I also can track and just see based off of the pages they're on, etc. So all of this. And if there's an error like loading the page, I know real time immediately with what I've set up in here. This is next level, okay? And again, how does this fit into Claude is all you have to do is like once you sign up with this, right? It's free. All you have to do is just embed that into your header tracking on your Go High Level page. So I use Google Tag Manager for all of my tags. So everything that I use from like Hyros, the Pixel, this Google Tag Manager essentially can do like combines it all into one main snippet of code. and that helps with load speed. But I've got them all in Google Tag Manager. Now, every time that loads, I can track the user and what they did on my website. So coming back to Claude, you can ask it really good questions. So like for me here, it was like I also loaded in my ad data and it started to tell me where people were hopping off, again, based off of where they came from, which was super valuable. And one of the things that I found from the funnel we have right now is that people were dropping off in my current funnel. They were dropping off right here and they weren't filling their information in. So because I had that data from Microsoft Clarity, I actually made a 2-step opt-in form to try to test and see, okay, if I break this up and make it easier for people to fill this out, would they fill it out? So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this out just to show you, okay? So I put my information in here, I push continue, and now I have a pixel conditioning question inside of here. But on the other page, it was all loaded together. So my thought is if I can reduce friction on the front end, then give a second question on the back end, will that improve my conversion rate? And I can, even with this, using Claude as like the back end for HTML, I can have the form submitted just based off of this first area here if I wanted to. So coming back to Claude, how do we use this? I'm gonna pull up another doc. So we can ask it questions like this. Show me the biggest drop off that happens between the headline and CTA on my landing page. I could literally copy this, right? And with the MCP server, it's gonna do a real dive real time. I'll just let it go and we'll come back here once this is ready. All right, so just quick check in here. I was having an issue with the server loading. So made it a new one. I dropped it back in there and it goes, hey, before I dive in, let me get a couple more information. Where is it going? What page do you want me to analyze? I said the main opt-in page, and then what time range? And I put 7 days. So I was like, got it. Let me go ahead and start working on it. So we're just gonna wait around a little bit longer and then we will let you know what it says. Okay, so it just pulled that data. So then it says here, the ads page, so this is one page, this is another split test page going on both of them, but one of them had a 29% average scroll rate. It told me where they dropped off. 78% of visitors never scroll past 25% of the page. And then 112 of the 432 actually clicked the button of like, get the resource now. And now if we look at this one over here, this was around 26% clicked, and that was about the same as the other one. And then it also tells us dead clicks. So this is where people are trying to click on something where like they click on it and nothing opens. So again, this gives you information of like, man, 45 people clicked on a accordion thinking that it would like open up the testimonials results. That gives me more information. You know what I mean? So really, really neat. And then the drop off is between headline and first scroll. So that's what I got here. Now there's a lot of other questions you could ask it too. And I'm gonna do one that's gonna be comparing traffic based on behavior source. So I think this will be super interesting is I can just drop this in. How do, let's say paid ad visitors behave differently than YouTube visitors on that funnel, okay? And it'll tell you. And it's so fascinating, right? Like, to me, it's so fascinating because again, this all gives me really good data of do I need to make separate landing pages for the different traffic sources? Because my YouTube landing page could be optimized for people on YouTube. My paid ads landing page could be optimized for people that are coming from paid ads. And I would never know without this data. Okay, again, it's a free heat map, free recordings. It analyzes all the recordings that it has and gives you a summary, and you can just ask it, hey, what's the biggest bottleneck on my funnel? What should I do next? And then what we like to do here with our business is once a week, I typically do one split test per funnel. So Monday through Friday, I'm running a split test, and then whatever I see in terms of the results will dictate the next split test we do so I can keep optimizing my funnel in addition to making more ads. Again, I think so many people just focus on ads. I got to make new ads. But if your landing pages and your funnels aren't converting, you need something to have eyes inside of the funnel. And this is a super easy way to do it. And you're not just looking at like most funnel builders will just give you the opt-in rate on both pages. It's like, okay, well, this one clearly won. Well, why did it win? The only way you're going to know is by having heat maps inside of here. Okay. All right, and while this is loading, let me just share this with you guys on other things that you can ask it. Okay, these are just ideas for you, right? Again, drop off points, where are people going and just dropping and leaving the page, okay? Maybe you wanna update that page. We just prompted this one to compare traffic sources. It's doing that now. Again, dead clicks kind of actually happened above, but it's like, where are people clicking that's not clickable? In case you have a button that's broken or they click on an image or that looks like a video and nothing pops up, well, you could put a pop-up right there, right? And then the other like two big ones are going to be mobile versus desktop breakdown. Again, you could track it and say, what's the conversion rate on desktop versus mobile, and where are people dropping off? Again, update it. And then what's the difference between converting, people who convert, and people who don't convert, right? You might notice, now we run a lot of paid ads, but sometimes with paid ads, you'll get people that click the ad and then they cancel immediately. And maybe it loads and it's like a 1 second click. So to me, I'm like, that's not a good lead. Like, where are they coming from? And if you use UTM parameters too, you could say like, what type of ads, like what placement are these ads actually being on? Like, is it stories? Is it reels? Where is all this traffic coming from that's just leaving in 1 second? And then I can go back into Facebook and say, I'm going to exclude Facebook Reels, because Facebook Reels is getting me a ton of clicks, but they're all averaging for 1 second per page view. And I don't want that. But Instagram Stories over here on the other side is, on the average view duration is 20 plus seconds. That's a great platform. I can start to exclude placements based off of what the data shows me. All right, so let's come back over here. And this is going to be, again, comparing the sources of YouTube versus paid ads. And this is fascinating, and I figured this was going to be the case. YouTube visitors converted 3.2 times the rate of paid ad visitors, almost a 60% conversion rate versus a 20% form submission rate. Makes sense. They're watching videos like this, and Claude will actually do a full breakdown of everything and make it look really pretty for you to be able to analyze and share with your team too. This is how many paid ad visits we had. This is how many YouTube visits we had. The average length, the average scroll depth. Again, YouTube, that's why I'm a huge bullish on like make long form and do ads together, but we can see the difference between both of these. So really, really fascinating. Highly, highly suggest you guys getting this tool, plugging this in and using it. And yeah, I hope this video helps. If you guys like this, smash the subscribe button for more videos like this. And if you guys want help learning how to launch and scale Facebook ads in 2026 and beyond, I'll have a link down below to join my Skool community where I walk through how to set up ads the right way. We have 3 different funnels that we have people go through, and you'll go to a funnel that looks like this. And guess what? There'll be a heat map on that page, and I will be analyzing what you do, okay? So go check it out. And if you guys have any questions to me, hit me up inside the Skool group. All right, peace, y'all.